Hello fans! Welcome back to ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today, we will dive deep into the latest whirlwind of drama and intrigue unfolding in Port Charles on Tuesday, July 15th. From high-stakes missions and emotional memorials to fiery confrontations and shocking confessions, the town is buzzing with tension and unexpected revelations. Let's unpack the chaos with fresh perspectives, intricate details, and a closer look at the tangled web of relationships driving these storylines. Joselyn Jack's under pressure, a mission in peril. In the shadowy underbelly of Port Charles, Joselyn Jack finds herself at a critical crossroads. Summoned to a tense meeting with her enigmatic handler Vaughn and the imposing Jack Brennan, Joselyn is thrust into the spotlight over a botched operation. The original plan: for Vaughn to charm Emma Scorpio Drake, leveraging her passionate stance on animal rights to infiltrate Professor Henry Dalton's heavily guarded lab. But the scheme crumbled under the watchful eye of Emma's fiercely protective grandmother, Anna Devane, whose instincts derailed their efforts before they could even gain traction. Now, the stakes are higher than ever. Brennan, with his cold, calculating demeanor, lays down the law in no uncertain terms. Joselyn must go all in. Half measures won't cut it in this dangerous game of espionage. As the pressure mounts, Joselyn grapples with her own doubts. The lab, rumored to house groundbreaking but ethically murky experiments, remains tantalizingly out of reach. Could Vaughn's charm still turn the tide, or will Joselyn need to take a bolder, riskier approach to prove her worth? With Anna Devane as a formidable adversary, the path forward is fraught with peril, and Joselyn's resolve will be tested like never before. A memorial marred by suspicion, Natalia Ramirez's tragic end. Meanwhile, the community gathers for a somber occasion: the memorial service for Natalia Ramirez. The air is heavy with grief as family, friends, and colleagues come together to honor her memory. But beneath the surface, questions swirl like a storm. Marco Rios, Natalia's son and a rising figure at Alexis Davis and Diane Miller's law firm, cannot shake his anguish. In a poignant moment away from the office, Marco confronts Alexis with a piercing question: how can she be so sure that Sonny Corinthos played no role in his mother's untimely death? Alexis, known for her sharp legal mind, appears visibly unsettled by Marco's intensity. The young man's grief is palpable, compounded by a gnawing sense of guilt for not having been there for Natalia in her final days. Elsewhere at the memorial, Marco's father and Natalia's former husband, Jen Sidwell, shares a quiet, mournful exchange with Lucy Co. With sorrow etched on her face, Lucy listens as Jen's muses, who can truly unravel the mystery of what happened that night. The autopsy report offers a grim conclusion: Natalia succumbed to a lethal mix of pills and alcohol. Yet, the ambiguity persists: was it a tragic accident, a desperate act, or something more sinister? The unresolved nature of her passing casts a shadow over the gathering, amplifying the heartbreak. Natalia's unrequited love for Sonny Corinthos adds a layer of poignant tragedy to her story, a grown woman caught in the throes of a teenage-like longing, with devastating consequences. Kitchen clashes, Spencer family drama ignites. Over at the Spencer household, the kitchen becomes a battleground as Carly Spencer unleashes her fury on Sonny Corinthos. With Michael Corinthos bearing witness to the escalating conflict, the conversation pivots to Daisy Gilmore, the innocent newborn caught in a dangerous web, and by extension, her mother, Sasha Corbin. Sasha has recently confided in both Michael and Jason Morgan about unsettling incidents surrounding the baby, whispers of threats and strange occurrences that defy explanation. Her revelations are met with grave concern, fueling Carly's righteous indignation. Carly's voice trembles with a mix of anger and fear as she demands answers from Sonny. Do you honestly believe someone is targeting that defenseless child because of your actions? She challenges, her words cutting deep. The accusation hangs heavy in the air, a stark reminder of the collateral damage Sonny's ongoing turf war with Jen Sidwell inflicts on those he loves most. This clash isn't just about Daisy, it's about the ever-present specter of danger that Sonny's choices bring to his family's doorstep. As tempers flare, old wounds resurface, threatening to fracture the fragile bonds holding the Spencers together. Will Sonny heed Carly's warnings, or will his stubbornness plunge them all into deeper peril? Hospital confessions, Willow Tate's shocking admission. At General Hospital, the atmosphere is charged as Isaiah Gannon finds himself on the receiving end of a startling confession from Willow Tate. The young nurse, recently cleared to return to her duties after a harrowing breakdown during a custody hearing, seems burdened by secrets. As she speaks to Isaiah, her words carry the weight of regret. Is she admitting to a dark role in gaslighting Sasha Corbin, or perhaps revealing the true reasons behind her impulsive marriage to Drew Kane? Or could this confession simply be an emotional recounting of her collapse in court, a moment that left her vulnerable and in need of psychiatric evaluation? Isaiah, known for his compassionate yet discerning nature, listens intently, his expression a mask of concern and surprise. The hospital corridors, usually a place of healing, become a confessional as Willow unburdens herself. The specifics of her admission remain shrouded in mystery, but the implications are vast. If Willow is indeed confessing to manipulating Sasha or endangering Daisy during those unsupervised walks, the fallout could be catastrophic. Trust, already fragile in Port Charles, would be shattered. As this conversation unfolds, viewers are left on edge, wondering just how deep Willow's regrets run and whether redemption is within her grasp. A mother's stern warning, Lulu Spencer draws the line. In another corner of town, Lulu Spencer summons Jason Morgan for a conversation laced with tension and unresolved grief. Lulu, ever the protective mother, has learned of Jason's connection to the late Britt Westburn, a figure from her son Rocco Falcone's past. With a steely resolve, Lulu issues a firm directive: Jason must never speak to Rocco about Britt. The warning is clear, her tone leaving no room for negotiation. Britt's legacy, marked by both darkness and eventual redemption, is a sensitive topic for Lulu, who fears the impact of those memories on her young son. Yet, there's a complication. Just has already broached the subject with Rocco. In a quiet, heartfelt moment, he shared stories of Britt's transformation, painting a picture of a woman who sought to atone for her past. Now, faced with Lulu's ultimatum, Jason treads carefully. Does Lulu's warning stem from Rocco having already confided in her about their conversation, or is she preemptively guarding her son from painful truths? The dynamic between Jason and Lulu crackles with unspoken history, each navigating their roles as protector and confidant. How Jason responds to this edict could reshape their relationship and Rocco's understanding of his own past in profound ways. Next, we will dive deep into the tumultuous waters of the rekindled feud between Brooklyn Quartermain and Lulu Spencer, a conflict that has once again taken center stage in Port Charles with shocking revelations and heartbreaking consequences. This drama, rooted in a bitter rivalry from over a decade ago, has resurfaced with an intensity that has left fans both riveted and dismayed. The uncovering of long-hidden secrets, including the bombshell that Joe is Brooklyn and Dante Falcone's son, has not only upended lives but also painted a troubling portrait of motherhood and the choices women make under emotional duress. Let's explore this saga in detail, unpacking the layers of history, the personal toll on all involved, and the broader implications for how mature women are portrayed in this beloved soap opera. The roots of a rivalry, a history of heartache. More than 15 years ago, the streets of Port Charles echoed with the fiery clashes between a young Brooklyn Quartermain and Lulu Spencer, two women caught in a fierce battle over Dante Falcone's heart. Back then, their rivalry was almost a rite of passage at what 20-somethings driven by passion, insecurity, and the naivety of youth. Brooklyn, with her bold and often reckless demeanor, made no secret of her desire to reclaim Dante, her former flame, even if it meant stepping on Lulu's dreams. Lulu, on the other hand, guarded her relationship with Dante fiercely, her mistrust of Brooklyn fueled by a painful history of betrayal. Their skirmishes, though intense, felt fitting for their age and emotional maturity at the time. They were learning life's hard lessons, stumbling through love and loss with the rawness of inexperience. Today, however, revisiting this feud feels like unearthing a relic that should have remained buried in the sands of time. Both women have grown into seasoned adults, shaped by years of triumphs and traumas. Brooklyn has carved a life of her own, navigating the complexities of family and career, while Lulu has endured unimaginable hardship, including years lost to a coma. Yet, the flames of their old animosity have reignited with a ferocity that feels out of place for women who should, by now, have gained the wisdom to let go of petty grudges. This resurgence of hostility begs the question, why can't these two strong, capable women rise above the past and focus on the futures they've built? Their inability to do so casts a shadow over their growth, making their current conflict feel more like a regression than a compelling plot twist. The bombshell revelation, Gio's true parentage. At the heart of this revived rivalry lies a secret so explosive it has shattered the fragile balance of several lives in Port Charles. The revelation that Joe, a bright and promising teenager, is the biological son of Brooklyn and Dandy, a child born when they were too young to handle the weight of parenthood and subsequently given up for adoption, has sent shockwaves through the community. The truth came to light in the most public and painful way possible, during the glitz and glamour of the nurses' ball. Picture the scene, the ballroom aglow with elegance, laughter ringing out, only for it to be silenced as Joe, having accidentally overheard Lulu's discovery, announced his true identity to a stunned crowd. The looks of horror on Brooklyn and Dandy's faces were palpable, their past mistakes laid bare for all to see. This devastating moment was the culmination of Lulu's relentless pursuit of the truth. Awakened from her coma with a fire in her heart, Lulu fixated on Brooklyn's past, piecing together whispers and rumors until she uncovered the secret of Gio's birth. Despite Brooklyn's desperate pleas to let sleeping dogs lie, Lulu pressed forward, driven by a mix of vindication and perhaps unresolved jealousy over Dante. Her actions, however, showed a shocking disregard for the collateral damage her investigation would cause. As a mother herself, with two children who looked to her for guidance, Lulu should have foreseen the emotional wreckage her meddling would unleash on Joe, a young man whose world was turned upside down in an instant. The pain etched on Gio's face as he grappled with his identity was a stark reminder of the human cost of this feud, a cost that Lulu, in her obsession, failed to consider. Acicle of revenge, Brooklyn strikes back. In the aftermath of Gio's heartbreaking revelation, the rift between Brooklyn and Lulu only deepened, with both women succumbing to the worst impulses of revenge. Brooklyn, wounded by the public exposure of her most guarded secret, and devastated by Gio's rejection of both her and Dante, turned her anguish into a weapon. Determined to make Lulu pay for the pain she had caused, Brooklyn embarked on a mission to unearth dirt on her longtime rival. Her search led her to a dark chapter in Lulu's own family history, the twisted circumstances surrounding her son Rocco's conception. Armed with a file that named Britt Westburn as the woman who gave birth to Rocco, Brooklyn toyed with the idea of using this information to shatter Lulu's world in return. Though she ultimately hesitated, the damage was already done. Rocco, a sensitive young man caught in the crossfire of this bitter war, stumbled upon the file in a moment of curiosity, his sense of identity shaken to its core. The parallels between Gio's trauma and Rocco's confusion are striking to innocent teenagers forced to bear the weight of their mother's mistakes. Brooklyn, of all people, should have understood the agony of such a revelation after witnessing Gio's struggle firsthand. Why, then, would she risk inflicting similar pain on Rocco, a boy she has known and cared for over the years? Her actions, though born from a place of hurt, reflect a tragic short-sightedness, perpetuating a cycle of retaliation that only breeds more suffering. A disappointing portrayal of motherhood and womanhood. Beyond the personal toll on their families, the ongoing clash between Brooklyn and Lulu raises troubling questions about how motherhood and womanhood are depicted in this storyline. The sight of these two grown women trading barbs, scheming against each other, and, most recently, descending into physical altercations with slaps exchanged, feels like a disservice to their characters and to viewers. Where is the strength and grace that should define women who have faced life's many challenges? Where is the selflessness that motherhood demands, the instinct to shield their children from harm rather than expose them to it? Both Lulu and Brooklyn have fallen short in this regard. Lulu's obsession with exposing Brooklyn's past ignored the devastating impact on Joe, while Brooklyn's quest for vengeance placed Rocco in an equally vulnerable position. These are not the actions of role models or nurturing figures. They are the missteps of women consumed by bitterness, and able to prioritize their children's well-being over their own grudges. For fans who have followed these characters' journeys, this portrayal is disheartening. It paints a picture of motherhood not as a source of strength and sacrifice, but as a battleground for personal vendettas, a depiction that feels outdated and diminishes the complexity of what it means to be a woman in today's world. The ripple effects in Port Charles. The fallout from this feud extends far beyond Brooklyn and Lulu, touching the lives of everyone in their orbit. Dante, caught between his past with Brooklyn and his history with Lulu, struggles to navigate his role as a father to Joe while maintaining peace in a fractured family dynamic. Joe himself, grappling with feelings of betrayal and confusion, has withdrawn from those who wish to support him, his trust shattered by the public nature of the revelation. Meanwhile, Rocco's discovery about his own origins has left him questioning his place in the world, adding another layer of tension to an already strained household. Even the wider Port Charles community feels the strain, with friends and family members forced to take sides or mediate in a conflict that shows no signs of abating. The nurses' ball, typically a celebration of hope and unity, became the backdrop for a family's unraveling, a stark reminder of how personal battles can spill over into public spaces. This storyline, while undeniably gripping, highlights the destructive power of unresolved resentment, leaving viewers to wonder if reconciliation is even possible for two women so entrenched in their animosity. Next, we will delve into the unsettling and twisting storyline surrounding Willow Tate and her former close confidant, Sasha Corbin, in the ever-dramatic world of Port Charles. Recent episodes have hinted at a deeply troubling plot involving Willow, whose actions suggest either a severe mental health crisis or a calculated scheme to destabilize Sasha's fragile emotional state. This intricate web of deception, centered around the vulnerable newborn Daisy, has sparked intense speculation about Willow's true motives and the potential fallout for everyone involved. As we unpack this dark chapter, we'll explore the psychological games at play, the haunting echoes of past traumas, and the ripple effects on the tightly knit community of the Quartermain mansion and beyond. Buckle up for a detailed journey through suspicion, heartbreak, and betrayal as we dissect this gripping narrative. A disturbing flashback, Willow's unseen intrusion. The drama kicked off with a chilling glimpse into Willow Tate's mind during a seemingly innocuous meeting with Nina Reeves at the upscale Metro Court pool. As the sun glinted off the water and conversations buzzed around them, Willow's thoughts drifted to a shocking memory of vivid recollection of herself creeping into the Quartermain nursery under the cover of darkness. In this unsettling flashback, she is seen carefully lifting baby Daisy from her crib, her movements stealthy and deliberate. This haunting image raises immediate red flags. How could security at the sprawling Quartermain estate, known for its rigorous protection due to the family's history of danger, fail to detect Willow's unauthorized entry and exit? The estate, with its state-of-the-art surveillance and round-the-clock staff, seems improbably lax in this scenario. Could there be an inside accomplice aiding Willow, or is this a sign of deeper cracks in the family's defenses? Whatever the case, this memory or hallucination paints a disturbing picture of Willow's current state of mind and hints at a plan far more sinister than mere idle fantasy. The motive behind the manipulation, revenge or madness. As we dig deeper into Willow's potential endgame, the question looms large: what drives her to target Sasha Corbin with such ruthless precision? The most plausible theory points to a thirst for revenge, born from the bitter fallout of her custody battle with Michael Corinthos. After losing custody of her own children to her ex-husband, Willow's resentment appears to have festered into a dangerous obsession. Sources close to the situation speculate that she aims to make Michael and Sasha experience the gut-wrenching pain of losing a child, mirroring her own anguish. Could her actions be an attempt to frame Sasha as an unstable mother, paving the way for her to be institutionalized once again at Ferncliff, a place of nightmarish memories for Sasha? The cruelty of such a scheme is staggering, especially given Sasha's tragic history of loss, having already buried her infant son Liam and her husband Brando Corbin. Willow, once a pillar of support for Sasha during those dark days, is now seemingly weaponizing that shared history to inflict maximum emotional damage. This shift from friend to foe adds a layer of betrayal that cuts deep, leaving fans wondering if Willow's heart has truly hardened beyond recognition. Sasha's fragile state, a mother's fear amplified. Sasha Corbin, already bearing the scars of profound grief, finds herself at the mercy of Willow's apparent mind games. The trauma of losing Liam has left her fiercely protective of newborn Daisy, her every instinct tuned to safeguarding her daughter from harm. When bizarre incidents began occurring, items moved in the nursery, unexplained noises in the night, Sasha's initial explanations of sleep deprivation seemed plausible to those around her. However, as these disturbances escalated, whispers of doubt crept into the minds of even her closest allies. Some on the Corinthos side of Michael's family murmur about external threats, suggesting that notorious figures like Jen Sidwell might be sending a warning to Sunny Corinthos through Daisy. Others, however, cast a skeptical eye on Sasha herself, questioning whether her past mental health struggles are resurfacing under the strain of new motherhood. The pain of seeing Sasha's sanity doubted once more is palpable, especially for fans who remember her harrowing ordeal at Ferncliff under the manipulations of Gladys Corbin and the sinister Dr. Damon Montague. The thought of Sasha enduring such torment again, especially at Willow's hands, is a bitter pill to swallow. Echoes of past suspicions, Willow's unraveling. This isn't the first time suspicion has fallen on Willow in connection to baby Daisy. Rewind to the chaotic days following Daisy's birth, when a shocking hospital switch raised eyebrows across Port Charles. Many fans pointed fingers at Willow, though the theory seemed far-fetched given her role in assisting with Sasha's delivery. How could a woman who had just helped bring Daisy into the world harbor such ill intent? Yet, her behavior during the custody hearing for her own children offered a stark glimpse into her unraveling mental state. In a courtroom outburst that stunned onlookers, Willow unleashed a torrent of rage at the judge, her raw emotion culminating in a court-ordered psychological evaluation at General Hospital. The fact that she was released so soon after such a public breakdown raises serious questions about the adequacy of her treatment. Was her release premature, or is this calculated behavior hiding beneath a veneer of instability? Either way, Willow's actions, whether driven by madness or malice, threaten to drag Sasha back into a darkness she has fought so hard to escape. A history of heartbreak, Willow's knowledge of Sasha's pain. What makes Willow's apparent campaign against Sasha even more insidious is the intimate knowledge she holds of her former friend's deepest wounds. Once, Willow and Sasha shared a bond forged in mutual vulnerability, with Sasha confiding the soul-crushing agony of losing Liam and Brando. Those late-night conversations, filled with tears and shared burdens, should have created an unbreakable trust. Instead, Willow seems to be exploiting those very confidences to manipulate Sasha's fears. The act of removing Daisy from her crib, even if only momentarily, is a direct assault on Sasha's greatest terror, that of losing another child. It's a betrayal that cuts deeper than any physical wound, a deliberate attempt to shatter Sasha's fragile sense of security. This calculated cruelty echoes the past manipulations of Gladys Corbin, who orchestrated Sasha's descent into drug despair at Ferncliff, nearly costing her life until Cody Bell's timely intervention. If Willow's goal is to push Sasha to the brink, she treads a dangerous path that could backfire spectacularly if the truth emerges. The Quartermain fallout, the community on edge. The reverberations of Willow's actions extend far beyond her personal vendetta with Sasha, unsettling the entire Quartermain household and its extended family. The once safe haven of the mansion, a place of wealth and refuge, now feels like a pressure cooker of suspicion and fear. Sasha, overwhelmed by the constant threat to Daisy's safety, has made the heartbreaking decision to leave Port Charles altogether, planning to take her daughter far from the shadows of danger. Her resolve to flee speaks volumes about the depth of her insecurity within the very walls that should protect her. Meanwhile, Michael finds himself torn between supporting Sasha and grappling with the lingering doubts about Willow's involvement. The Corinthos family, ever entangled in Port Charles' underworld, debates whether this is a personal attack or a broader message from enemies like Jen Sidwell. The tension is palpable at every family gathering, with hushed conversations and wary glances replacing the warmth that once defined their bonds. This storyline has transformed the Quartermain estate into a battleground of mistrust, leaving everyone on edge. A hope for truth and healing. As this disturbing saga unfolds, the ultimate hope is for Sasha to uncover the reality behind Willow's actions before irreparable damage is done. Imagine the strength it would take for Sasha to stand her ground, refusing to be driven from Port Charles by fear, and instead confronting the source of her torment. Picture a moment of clarity where Willow's schemes are laid bare, perhaps through a hidden camera in the nursery or a slip of the tongue in a heated exchange. Such a revelation could pave the way for healing, not just for Sasha and Daisy, but for Willow herself, who may desperately need help rather than condemnation. The community of Port Charles has weathered countless storms, and this could be another opportunity for redemption and reconciliation if handled with care. For now, fans are left on tenterhooks, eagerly awaiting the next twist in this tale of deception and despair. Will Sasha find the truth in time, or will Willow's shadowy plans push her over the edge once more? Stay tuned to ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel for every update as this gripping story continues to unravel.